What is going on, everybody? Welcome back to the Powerstroke Tech Talk podcast. This is podcast number 21. We're getting up there. We have PTT, you know who, Matt, Ryan, Dan, and newcomer Al. And we are just going to sit here and talk about trucks. And I want to first start off letting you guys know who are not able to watch on YouTube or turn their phones off in the background. We are now on Spotify, Apple, Google Podcast, Amazon, and Podbean. So far to date, right now, we are already over 800 downloads, so we're pretty excited about that.
Round of applause.
Getting great comments.
Golf clap.
Everybody likes the oil conversation between DS and Matt. I think that's the top comments that I get the most.
I'm gonna take flack for this. I'm glad you're not here, so we don't have to argue over that.
430 gears.
Yeah. We got a drink if somebody says 430 gears.
Bottoms up, boys.
That was the podcast 20. That was the Daddy Diesel. So we want to, and one more thing, I do have new merch coming out shortly here in the next few weeks. I got some current shirts right now, but we got some new boys coming in to do some stickers and some new stickers. So if you guys want to get hooked up, reach out to my email and I'll see if I can facilitate that for you. So to start off, Mr. Al, why don't you tell us a little bit about you? What you're rolling in, what kind of real truck, and we're gonna roll with it, bruh.
Yeah, I guess I'll start off with what I drive. So I currently own 2000 F250 4x4 limited slip rear 7.3 Powerstroke. And I recently, actually just 2 weeks ago, I just put in a built trans. My 4R100 quit New Year's Day at 276,000. So it finally quit at that on New Year's Day. So I pulled her out, put in a built trans from diesel site. So she's got a built trans now. I got a hydro chip tuner in it, a 4-inch straight pipe exhaust, and the Napa. Well, it's not a Napa filter, it's a Wix filter, but it's the same part number. The Napa filter with an intake to it, and that's about it. It's stock-ish. The previous owner had he did have rosewood injectors in it, but they had stiction problems, so I pulled them out and just put in some stock injectors, and I'm pretty happy with it the way it is right now.
Hell yeah.
It's got a 4-inch lift on, I think I want to say like 33s or 35s. Okay. I want to say they're not too big, but it's got some decent sized tires on it. But yeah,
help us paint the picture. What color is it?
Oh, red.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, and it's got a 6.0 front end as well. So if you're to take a look at the truck, you'd think it's a 6.0.
What'd you do to it? With just a grill and lights and all that?
It looks just like a 6.0.
Hell yeah, that's cool.
6.0
Is that the 05, 06, or the 04?
I want to say it's like an 06, 07 clip. So it's got the chrome. It's got the chrome grill and everything.
Okay, sweet.
The big thick boys in the front.
Yeah, the bigger, thicker grill lines. Not like
the new
I've
headlights.
seen on other 6.0s when they're thinner. Yeah. No, it's the thick ones.
You can do a front of the frame swap on those too.
Yeah, right.
On coil springs.
Yeah, I've heard of that. I know that people chopped off the frame from a 6.0 to swap over coil springs. I heard on the OBS trucks, they put a bracket. You can get a bracket and then swap in your coil springs and all that from a 6-liter. I was wondering if that was possible for Super Duty. I've yet to look into that.
That's interesting. If anybody out there listening, I know there's got to be somebody. Have you guys ever heard of that? Let us know, or let Al know. Because I'd be really curious. Because if somebody's got, just something that you're talking about, like, well, if it's rotted out and you had a truck that was wrecked in the back or something, like, how would you donate that quarter, half, or whatever? Right there, probably at the K member, they probably chop that off or something. I don't know.
No, you just torch the rivets out, air hammer them out, whole front clip just
pull
it straight out. There's a lot of
I sold a guy a front half of a frame the other day.
Oh, no kidding.
Oh, wow.
Yeah, just chopped the frame and he took the whole thing with the axle and he's gonna go weld it on his truck.
Hell yeah.
No kidding.
It was pretty easy, just 2 torch marks and that was it.
Is your truck a crew cab?
I have an extended cab.
Oh, okay.
Is that a long bed or short?
I believe it's a short bed, 6.5 foot.
Okay, so
Yep.
you got a shorty truck down.
Yep.
Ooh, that's
So did the Super Duty
combo
have
you don't see a lot.
the 2000? Because I had a 98 F-150 and I had a Super Cab, but it only had 3 doors. You got 4 doors, you got 3 doors.
I have 4 doors, so I have the 2 front doors, and then I can once I open the front doors, I can open the
Both
other doors
sides.
to
Yeah,
my extended
dang.
cab. Yeah.
Yeah, no, I couldn't do my 98. So maybe 2000 they started doing that, but
Maybe
I
you
think
had
a pain in
so.
that. But
maybe you had like the mail delivery version or something.
I don't know. It was just they didn't have the 4th door behind it. Good truck, good truck. I don't want to bad mouth it. Never left me hanging. Was a truck I had since high school, Billy. And yeah, I went from a 98 to a 2020 and it was like freaking warp speed.
So that's a big jump.
It was a 5-speed, so I was, had 100 miles on it and pull up to a light, find myself putting the clutch in. I was like, well, what the shit? I don't even got a clutch. Or I go to turn the key off and it's got a push button. So that was, I think, the biggest thing to get used to was
Dude,
pulling up and
every time I drive
You know.
every time I drive a stick, I just think when I was younger, my dad had this like 70s Fiat Spider, right? The starter would always go out, so we'd have to like I remember he'd put me in that thing and we'd find a decent hill. He'd push it and he'd be like, all right, I'll pop the clutch. And then we'd be driving. He's like, you know what they say, Matt? If you can't find them, just grind them. So every time I'm driving my Focus around, I'm just like, just find them, don't grind them.
Hey, smoke them if you got them. Light them boys up. Yeah, I haven't had I think the last stick truck I drove was a 6-liter like F550 utility body with a crane on it.
I think the last one I drove was a 650.
It was like a month ago.
650 with
Do they have a
with a
ZF
cat
6-speed?
and an Eaton
Yeah.
behind it.
Yeah.
Cat and an Eaton, really?
Dude, you want to talk about a dog of a truck?
What year was it?
It's probably like 2013,
Really?
2015.
We got a 04 650 with the cat and Allison. You want to talk about a dog?
Dude, they don't. If I were to buy one of those, I'd probably go with the 6-liter in the torque shed.
That's our tow truck, and I mean, yeah, it's you don't go anywhere in a hurry.
It's like, geez, the Cummins and the cats they put in those things, what they make all of like 100 horsepower.
Ours is a 230 tune, I think, in our cat.
They're all blow, no go. They're
Pretty
just
much.
loud and clattery as all can be.
The only big boy I got in there was what was that thing? I did a video on it. I think it was like a 04 or 05 F650 or 750, and it had a VT365 in it. And I wound up having to replace the exhaust back pressure sensor, I think.
That's that video that you had?
Yeah, we'll put a link in there in the description of what one we're talking about. But
Yeah, that was that EBP sensor.
Yeah, it was a no computer. We didn't have the medium duty truck software to hook up to it in the 9-pin. So it was kind of.
Oh yeah, I remember that.
Remember
one.
that?
You're just like, let's unplug this thing
Yeah,
and see what
so
happens.
Let's go for a ride.
I actually got
Hey, I got an idea.
You get what?
Oh, I was about to say, I got a question about your guys' experience with those cats and those Cummins 650s and 750s. I don't have too much experience with the Caterpillar 650, 750s, but I've dealt with some of the Cummins ones. And one problem I've ran into was getting service information from Cummins. And I have no access to it at all. I was wondering, have you guys ever dealt with that problem of just a lack of service information from Cummins and a lack of support?
We don't touch them.
No.
We literally will tell customers if you have a drive line, if you have like a drivability concern, And they're like, can you work on my 650 or 750 medium duty truck? And we're like, what powertrain does it have in it? It's got the Ford one. And they lie, and you hear that clattery ass cat pull in. We've looked at them. We're like, you can go take it to the cat dealership, but they're expensive. Well, we're going to be 10 times as more because we're just going to be pissing in the wind.
Yep.
Wow.
No, we won't, unless it's got a Ford powertrain in it. We won't touch them.
Yeah, we got done doing that too. It was just like it was more of a pain in the butt dealing with either the Cummins Insight program or having to, submit for warranty. I mean, I never did it.
Well, it's like you
heard him
infrequently work on that
bitch about
stuff. So it's like every time you have to contact hotline, get a Nets login, do this, do that. And it's like, it's just more of a pain. So
Right.
if it's like brake stuff, we'll work on it because we still have like the Wabco software, but it's not worth it for us.
Right.
Let someone else deal with it.
Nets. Gosh, I haven't used Nets in so long. That was with the LCF too. LCF is another. I got a couple LCF videos that were good ones, but that's another non-scan tool. Diagnostics, because there's nothing. Just pretend it's a 6.0. What do you need a 6.0 to run? And that's kind of.
Yeah, it is. The LCF motor is a
You know what I
6
mean?
liter with 2 cylinders deleted, from what I understand. It was
Yeah.
actually intended to go in the F-150s, but that
That
just
was,
never
oh
happened.
Christ.
Yeah, it was supposed to go in the F-150s. That I can confirm. But it ended up going into those little box trucks that they're in now.
Like
Garbage.
literally, International was like, what could we possibly do to make an engine worse than the 6 liter and the 6.4? So let's
Build a
marry
4.5.
them together. Let's make a 4.5. We're gonna cut 2 cylinders off, and we're gonna put twin turbos on it.
I will say
Yeah,
I've never done anything in the interior. I've always done engine work, and having the only cab that actually flips forward, it wasn't really all that bad to work on. It was just, if you're going to make everything else use IDS, why in the hell can't we use IDS for this? Why has this got to be some different international J Deutsch? We don't,
I don't
man,
know.
come on.
I'm still waiting on that one to come in, and it dies hot after like 30 minutes. So we'll see if there's junk in the IPR or worst case scenario, the base pump is pooping itself.
I think I just got a common action. It's actually a really good one to talk about, because I think it affects me. It's going to affect my level customers. It's going to affect the aftermarket customers, and it's going to be a trickle effect from the supreme top of, in this case, would be Ford Motor Company.
Mm-hmm.
Why can we not get parts? What is the deal? I'm tired of hearing the COVID. Like, I want to know what's going on. Like,
well, I just talked to you about that yesterday.
It's everyone.
Yeah.
Is it lack of help? Is it people genuinely sick? Are they cutting staff because they want to be social distanced? Or, like, I mean, it is so bad to even order parts. And then, for instance, we have had a bigger 650, 750 giant truck that needed a motor, waiting on back order parts. It was the turbo, couldn't get a turbo. Then we couldn't get a valve grind kit. Then we couldn't get this, and then this, and then the blah, 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 blah. They had $21,000 in rental costs and truck payments, and then on top of the warranty repair. I'm like, this is just incredible. I don't even know what to say about that. We got my boy Farley, who I would really love to totally talk to, not on podcasts, just one-on-one, social distance. Just I want to help the Blue Oval. I want to help the Ford family save as much money as possible. But some of the things that we have going on, I mean, I know it's hard to change things and implement change, and you want to see and want to do, but making that a reality is sometimes very hard.
I think in the times we're in right now,
Ugh.
they just need to put out a
What are we
broadcast
doing?
message, or Ford needs to just suck it up and say, you know what? If it's something like an exhaust manifold gasket and it looks fine and the thing's on back order, just reuse it.
Man.
Because like we have 7.3s that like we'll get an engine 2 days later. The exhaust manifold gaskets are on intergalactic back order until like
WTF, man.
Christmas of next year.
Oh man.
Right.
I actually can't speak a little to that. I do know for a fact a lot of Ford's suppliers, a lot of their factories were shut down due to COVID. A lot of people don't want to come into work, so a lot of those suppliers that supply Ford with parts, or they're just not operational. So that's the biggest problem they're dealing with.
The
Yeah,
whole
I guess I can
supply
understand
chain
that.
is
Yeah.
jacked up right now.
Yeah, and
It
then
is just, it's awful, man.
right.
I guess the most, I'm sorry to interrupt you. I guess the most important thing, or the most hardest thing, is to convey that to the customer.
Yes.
Not that I'm not going to get paid until the job's done. That's besides the point. But dude just dropped off his $80,000 truck, and I can't deliver a repair to him because of this back ordered part. I have the same truck, and I would feel for him. I'm on this side of the fence. It's like how you start the conversation hoping positively that he's going to understand and but some dudes just don't want to hear it, and it's fix my effing truck and this and that, and it's like
I just give him the customer care number at that.
Yeah, I was about to say, did you involve the CRC at all?
I just give him the phone
no, it's
number.
just when you go to him or go to a client and say, well, this part's going to be back ordered for some time. It's,
there's nothing we can do.
The first point of contact.
It's not like I don't want to not work on your truck. I'm not getting paid until your truck's gone.
I know.
No, it's a supply chain thing. And the other thing people have to remember is those suppliers have to supply Ford first for whatever they need it for. So if it's an engine component and it's a current engine they're building, they can't make cars or make service part engines for us to throw in something if they don't have it. So it's kind of a problem. Like EGT sensors were on back order.
Oh my goodness.
Well, then that means they have to shut down the line for making DPFs or whatever.
So then what's up with that? Yeah. Are they going to not make 6.7s now?
Yeah. So then it's like they have to supply themselves before they can supply their suppliers that supply dealerships. And it's just.
Oh my goodness.
Yeah.
All the manufacturers are dealing with it. There's no way around
I don't even know where to begin to say.
Yeah. COVID's not been fun. No, not at all. It's definitely slowed down getting service done, getting parts. It's just not fun. Not at all.
Unbelievable.
Well, my customer, he needs a turbo for a 17 F550.
Yeah, good luck. It's on back order until May.
Oh, I'm aware. Our dealership told us even longer than that. It's in for a warranty motor, but it needs a turbo too. And they say maybe up to a year.
Oh, geez.
And the problem is I can go buy an aftermarket turbo, but they're not even going to put the engine in until they have the turbo.
Yeah.
So my customer's truck that we just sold him he hasn't even driven it yet, and it's still sitting there.
Oh man.
Bummer.
But just like everybody, you just spent, a lot of money on a F550 Lariat work truck, and there it sits.
Oh man, it's tough. I mean, it is what it is.
Luckily he doesn't really have truck payments on it, but for all the guys that are out there that are paying, over $1,000 a month for their work trucks, they still have to pay for them even though they don't use them. And the insurance and everything else.
Yeah, that's rough.
Plus the lost income at that point.
Right, because that's their money maker at the end of the day.
Oh man,
it adds up quick.
Right.
Oh yeah.
It's I think Out of all of the clients that we serve, with a lot of fleets and whatnot, but I think there's still a good percentage of small companies, not mom and pop, but just like medium companies, half dozen trucks, and maybe not medium, I mean smaller companies. But those are the ones who take, the real big hit if, like Reelin, like Joel. Dude's got, a small handful of trucks. One of my buddies, um, he's got that kind of a landscape company, and he has a 6.4 and a 6.7, and he needed a brand new engine in his 6.7. And you guys know what that is. Everything that you're going to need to do, turbo and engine, it was almost 20 grand. It was like $19,000 or something. That kind of hit on a company like that, it's like,
it's a game changer.
That's a money maker. Like, what do
if
you
not
do?
A bankruptcy kind of deal.
Exactly.
And that's that's a multi-part thing with like that, because like a company like his with 5 trucks, you can't afford for a truck. You have to have every vehicle being, doing some type of work every day. And so when you take that out of the equation, I mean, it screws up with employees, with work you've already committed to. That's a huge
plans you've already had made, because you had to use the truck to go do this job or something.
I mean, and I've seen it with guys, especially like in this business, that when that happens, some of them will, they have to stick their neck out and maybe buy another truck just because of the commitments. It is rough. I mean, unlike like a big company, like some of these national like tree companies, they have that happen all the time, and it's really, they don't seem to miss a beat. But
no,
or even huge landscape companies. And you guys know the ones I'm talking about. This got 100 trucks. Like, holy cow! What's it to them if
the ones that'll sit at your work for a year?
Oh my goodness, yeah.
Right.
Do you guys have customers that are just like relentless? Like their top priority no matter what?
Yeah, but
kind of not really.
I think
like at this point, I could confidently say we're a month out, and there are those relentless customers that are like, you need to look at my truck today and you need to fix it today. And they'll go, I mean, we're a corporate company. They'll go straight to the top and complain.
It's every industry though, because those are the people that think that they're the only person like that matters. They don't understand how everything works. I see it all the time.
Frustrating.
We just had some lady do that the other day, and it's just like, no, I don't have time to look at your whatever. She just wanted us to put everything down and look at her car, and it's just like, no, you can be like everybody else and make an appointment. Your car's not going to blow up.
I guess that's another really, I don't know if this happens with you guys at your stores, shops, whatever. Does an appointment mean it's an appointment for you to look at it and fix it? Or does an appointment mean it's for you to drop your vehicle off, and we should be able to get to it in the next couple days?
It depends on what I set up with our customers. If I tell them, yep, we'll get it in, we'll look at it and we'll go from there. Or, if they give us enough information, we know what it is. I'm like, well, yeah, drop it off at this time and we'll get it.
Yeah, I mean, you got big job. Like, that's the other thing about working on trucks is there's like not really any such thing as like a light repair, right?
No.
Like most stuff is heavy line and it's going to take time.
I have a rule of thumb that it's a straight up real talk. I'm not bullshitting you. All right. This is keeping it real. If you have a diesel and you're going to drive it in to get a repair done, be prepared to spend $1,000.
At least.
If you have a diesel and you have to tow it in,
oh yeah,
you better have $1,000 to start.
Oh yeah.
And I'm literally, that's, if you were to say, hey, how much is it going to be in my truck? Well, if you driving in or you towing it in? Okay, well, this is this and this is this. And it would be for a 7.3, it'd be for a 6.0, it'd be for a 6.4, it'd be for LCF, it'd be for a 3.0, it'd be for a Puma, it'd be for a 6, all of them. No bullshit. Say you need an exhaust sensor, be $450. Then I'm gonna have to do a regen, and then labor, and just you're at $800 right now. So I think some people, are shocked when you go and tell them, like, oh my God.
If you can barely afford the truck, like the payments, I don't want to see your face when you get that bill for service.
Well, the video I just made for the mirror
might as
mod,
well just sell the thing.
For the mirror mod, dudes are complaining in the comments. I can't believe that's for $65 for something that should be $5 and fit in your pocket and have a flashlight so you can see. I'm like, come on, bro.
I hate to sound like an asshole.
Kidding me, man?
You're gonna have to bleep this out. Then do it your fucking self. Then
well, no,
figure it out yourself.
You're driving an $80,000 truck and you're bitching about $65. Like, bro, are you serious?
Well, no, it's
like, do you want me to mail it to you for free?
Rich went in there and did all the work for him.
He did all the hard work.
The time to do it all.
Oh my God.
Yeah.
If you're gonna say that's too much money, you know what? Do it yourself.
Yeah, go wire it up yourself and do
Wait,
make your own
fuel
plugs.
filters are going to cost me $200 every time I need to do my fuel filters on my diesel?
Yep, every other oil change. Yep.
Yeah.
Yeah, on your $70,000 truck.
Well, how much are the fuel filters? $110.
Like, I don't add it. Maybe it comes across as like you're just a pleb tech and you'll never be able to afford this, so you'll never know. It's like, no, I realize how much this stuff costs, but don't buy the expensive truck and complain when it's expensive to fix it.
Yep.
Or back to oil. Dudes are complaining about changing it. Like, I don't understand what's the big deal is changing the oil. Bro, you just bought an $80,000 truck, just change your fucking oil.
No, I like people that complain that
get over it.
That ball joints, that tie rods, any suspension component, U-joints don't last long, but they're too cheap and too lazy to grease them.
I get
you could really extend the life of those U-joints if you were to grease them. Absolutely.
Because I can rack up a $3,000 parts bill in brakes and suspension real quick if you don't take care of your truck.
Oh yeah, are you kidding me? 2 G's, boom. You want an alignment?
Like if you want just Ford, if you want Fomoco brake components, or we'll say Motorcraft components, you want pads and rotors for front and rear and hub seals, that's like what, $1,500?
Oof.
So you can let your truck sit there and just rot away if you want. You don't have to clean it. You don't have to grease it. I'll be happy because I'm making all sorts of money, but don't complain about it.
People just need to know and accept the fact they need to use the best parts on the best truck. So don't skimp out.
And please do not come to the dealership and ask for aftermarket stuff.
Yeah, no, that's come on, really?
Because I don't want to have to do like ball joints or, whatever on your truck every 6 months to a year.
No, because you know what happens is if you get aftermarket parts, you're going to have to
stop using those Moog hubs and wheel bearings.
Oh, come on. Well, not that bad.
On like a 550.
Well, maybe a 550, but we get the customers. Well, I can go on Rock Auto and get a ball joint for $5 a piece. All right, well, go ahead.
Well, go ahead.
we did that on a guy's. We did that on a guy's. At the time, we didn't align vehicles before we did alignments. I think he made it to the shop, and they were already junk by the time he drove it 10 miles.
Wow.
Well,
they were loose already. He bought the cheapest ones on Rock Auto.
You know what's real cheap? When you get a Moog track bar ball joint, you put it in your 2019 F350, and it's an oversized one. And you go to put a Ford one in, and you only want Ford parts, and it doesn't fit. So now you have to buy an axle housing. So that $35 aftermarket ball joint just cost you like $3,000.
Oh, and there's no way to fix that either.
No, the I don't know if it was just, I don't know if all of Moog's track bar ball joints are oversized.
Not all of them.
Popped it out for whatever. I don't know. Maybe they pulled the wrong part or whatever from whoever this person got their parts from, but
wow.
Go to drop the FOMO one in it. Ding, 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 ding.
Yikes.
Then the customer wants you to weld it in there. Get lost. Get lost.
No way. Come on.
Get lost.
Wow.
Welded in.
Get lost, Sam. Sam, I am.
Sounds like a lawsuit waiting to happen.
I once had someone want me to weld outer axle bearings in on a 8.8 on a Lincoln Town car because it had spun the bearings. Oh, that needs an axle. I went to put the new ones in and they just like kind of went in there. Nope, we're not doing that.
I drove 2 cool things this past week.
Yeah, well,
work.
I drove one of those cool things before you, so.
And well, actually, 3 things cool happened. I was able to. I'll put a link here in the description for her. I'm going to get her on the podcast. I did a little film skit with the dealership. You can check us out at billbarnford.net, and we did it with that 1320 chick. I'll put her Instagram link up there, and did a little thing about GT 500. Did a little walk around what I do to PDI it. And then later in the week, I was able to drive for the first time a Mach-E, and it was the best one. It was the all-wheel drive one.
Was it first edition?
I don't know. How do you tell? I think so. It was the first one we got.
Right on it.
I wasn't paying attention. The door was already open, so I didn't get to hit the button. They're like, "Oh yeah, hit the button, open the door." I'm like, "I don't know. The door was already open. I just got in. I don't know." It was pretty sweet. Definitely.
I like the way that those things get shipped.
I haven't even seen it.
I think we talked about this on the last one that I was on. They're made in Mexico and they get shipped up on train cars.
Did we? Yeah, I think maybe we were talking about that. But the biggest thing, well, I mean, the Mach-E, I guess that's pretty cool. But the biggest thing,
no, that's cool,
was I got to drive and work on and film a over million mile 13 platinum 350 single rear wheel.
Wow.
I was pretty blown away. This is one of my subscribers. Andrew, he actually drove up from New Mexico. Was pretty stoked about it. He dropped a couple loads, does hot shotting, goes from coast to coast, puts a ton of miles on his truck a week. His maintenance book is like a Bible. I was blown away with the condition of the truck. Looked very good. He takes very good care of it. Car washing it type worthiness. So it is from New Mexico, so there is no freaking rust on it. I'm underneath it and I'm looking under the bed and I'm like, oh my God, are you freaking kidding me? Like I can take this thing apart with hand tools. Like I don't, you don't see trucks like that up here. So it was really cool to just see all the fasteners and you know, just inspecting the truck over. I had to do a sync update. It had the very first version of sync, never been updated.
Oof.
Did a APIM sync update. He could definitely tell the difference with connectivity and maps and just the overall layout. So I was definitely
his truck
happy
constantly thinks he's like driving through the woods or something half the time.
Did you put a new map SD in it?
Nope. I think he had already did that prior, thinking that was going to fix it, and it didn't because he just needed to get his thing updated. But his park gate didn't work. A connector had come undone. Whenever he connected that, I have never seen an oil leak from a 6.7. Matt, this is a first. I don't know if this is a first for you. An oil leak coming from the oil dipstick indicator. The indicator had no O-ring on it. There was
oil dipstick indicator.
Yeah, like you pull the oil dipstick indicator out, and there's like a little tiny O-ring like right under the loop.
Also on the dipstick itself.
Well, why don't you just call it the dipstick?
Well, I mean,
that's
the indicator thing.
With your dipstick.
He's using Ford proper terms.
Yeah, I'm just trying to explain to what you're pulling out, and
why is oil coming out of there?
Well, it just had the crankcase pressures, the crankcase CCV stuff.
Oh yeah, the O-ring's gone.
Yeah, and I couldn't believe that. So it was just all saturated down like right underneath this area and all over the cac tube and just going down all over the place.
That's my favorite thing about a 6-liter. You go pull the dipstick out.
Oh.
And the little collar just stays there.
Yep.
Boop.
We have those in stock. It's kind of funny.
Dude said he replaces his headlights and fog lights every year, paints his bumper every year.
Not a bad deal.
He's had 2 sets of drive line U-joints, 3 4x4 sets of hub lockouts. Ooh. He says he gets 156-ish thousand miles out of a set of tires. The Michelins that I'm bitching about.
Well, hold on.
Wait,
you can't use that as a comparison. If he's a hot shot,
I know, but that's crazy though. What else did he say? He's had 12 windshields. He's on his 4th turbo. He's went through 4 radiators, 1 OE, and 4 Mishimotos. And the Mishimoto in here is leaking right now, so he's got to get a new radiator.
Typical.
What else did he say? 4 alternators, 3 belts.
Was it really the alternator though?
I mean, yeah. He said he had to place it in the parking lot.
Alternators, so that's news to me. It's usually just the harness.
He said at 800,000 miles, he flushed and changed over from orange to the yellow. About a month ago, he replaced the transmission in the transfer case.
Oh, wow.
Had both front seats re-leathered and re-foamed. Cluster says 9999999.9. He's got to use his trip B to take 10,000 mile increments, and then he records it, clears it, goes another 10,000 miles, records it.
Did you hook IDS up to it?
Yeah.
What did the mileage read out?
It wasn't there because he's deleted, so I don't know. I don't know. That just didn't show up. But yeah, it's been deleted since 98,000 miles. So 1.2 million miles ago. 2 sets of brakes, 2 sets of batteries. Whatever.
That's he changed original motor.
Yeah, original motor, never been opened.
Really?
Original fuel system. Yep. No valve cover gaskets, no upper oil pans, no lower, nothing.
Really?
Good for him.
No,
that's impressive.
I couldn't believe it, man.
I would think at 8 years old, is my math correct? I don't know. Whatever. At that age, I would think that front cover gasket would turn to plastic.
I don't know. He got no oil leaks, except for what I was fixing up top.
Right.
He changes the oil every 8,000. He changes the oil and the fuel filters every 8,000 miles, and uses a Stanodyne fuel additive and a Lucas oil additive.
There's a secret. Okay.
And he gets it analyzed every oil change.
Yep.
And what else did he say? Been in one minor accident where somebody cut him off and the trailer started swaying and it hit the back of the tailgate. So it was never frame bent, front end smashed.
Right.
Dude, that cat is just all about you right now.
Yeah, she does this all the time at work too. She's relentless. She just needs my attention. Oreo, do you want to say hi? Say hi to Aaron.
Oreo.
No? Oreo. Aaron's right there.
No. Oh yeah.
No?
Yeah.
Oh, okay.
Give the camera the money shot.
Yeah, pretty cool. I think it would be really sweet if Ford Motor Company reached out to him or myself or the dealer to, I don't know, do
take the motor apart,
skid on it or something. I mean, I think that is something to be said about the best engine right now. 10-year anniversary this year, guys. I'm in the middle of making my video right now as we speak. I'm covering all years, all variations of my favorite number one, the 6.7 Powerstroke, from 11 to current model year. We're going to go over all of them. It's going to be a great video. I'm excited. This is produced in-house at Ford. It's made, designed. It's no international. We're dealing with real. This thing went 1 million miles. It's a 10-year anniversary. That is something to be said, because everything that we see out here, we got fire trucks, we got tow trucks, landscapers, first responders, bucket trucks, everything, reefer trucks. They're taking the commerce and they're going from point A to point B, and it has the blue oval on it. What's in it? The 6.7. And what we talk about all the time is maintenance and oil. This guy with this 13 Platinum is without a doubt living testament of dudes are buying $80,000 trucks. May that not have been that price back in 13, but just take care of it. Stop your hee-hawing. Not saying do exactly what this guy's doing, but you guys need to be up on it all the time for longevity. I mean, these guys, unless you're rolling in dough, but then you wouldn't be driving a Super Duty. You're not replacing these things every 2 or 3 years if you're buying it as your personal truck.
Maybe they're they don't care because they're not going to keep it that long.
Or that, I mean, that's kind of silly, making
I don't know, maybe they know
a G-note a month payment and just trashing it.
Maybe they know they can't truly afford the truck.
Well, some people don't appreciate some stuff. Some people,
I don't know.
Some people do. Or whether it's a work truck and hey, it's not their truck, so what does that mean if it's not my truck?
Work on a lot of those.
Not your truck, not your problem.
That's exactly right.
Had a $1,600 repair, and a guy made an example of because he kept throwing shit on the dash, and it all fell down into the HVAC case. And I was like, it only blows out the panel vent, and I pulled out like literally a
handful of change.
Enough for
like
repair?
no, dude, nuts, bolts, fishing lures. It might have been Ryan's truck if there were fishing lures in it. But like,
yeah, send those to me, please.
No, I was like, so
got dried fish guts. I can't use your new
lures. The customer was like, his boss was like, you need to bag all that up for us and give it to us because we're gonna make an example out of him.
What?
And the thing is, the guy didn't care. He's like, yeah, I throw all my shit on there. And it's like, yeah, that wasn't cheap for me to yank the dash out and split the case apart and fish everything out of there.
Yeah, see if you still have a job at the end of it.
Good story with that, Rye. You can link this one for us. I had the same thing come in, just like Matt was saying. 350 work truck, tons of shit on the dash, and he was complaining about the reverse lights would go on by themselves intermittently. So
like, how do you know that? Because those are your reverse lights. Like, do you got eyes in the back of your head or something?
Somebody would tell. I told him, I guess,
honking at him. They're like, I thought you were trying to back into me.
I don't know. What I wound up finding, I have titled it "Reverse Light Plinko."
Oh boy!
And what had happened is this was a work truck, so base XL, ain't got nothing. If you're underneath the dash on the passenger side by the BCM, okay, you got the BCM, and if you go up, you're going up side of the A-pillar, you got right on the side of the heater case, right behind the glove box, you can see the firewall, you can see the ground lugs. There's this connector that is a female, and No, I'm sorry, male. So I got a cavity that's here. A coin had ting 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 and fallen right into this connector, and it was a dime. So it actually fell like down into the shell of the connector, and I don't know how or what way, but my light had caught the shininess of the coin, and I'm like, what the hell? And I wound up getting my Christmas tree clipper and popped it off and out come a coin. Well, finding what that connector was a reverse circuit for another truck harness. I don't know what it went to, but it had a reverse light circuit in it, and the thing leaned this way, the lights came on, and then it leaned this way, and then the lights didn't come on, and then he'd lean this way, and then the lights would come on. I'm like, you have got to be kidding me. And I did a good shot in the video. You guys can see just the tip of the coin just barely sticking up right between the pins. Like, that was the oddest thing, besides things that they come in for with the just blowing out the panel. How did my reverse lights just intermittently go on? This little coin.
It's because you use Scotch locks on that popper you put on. That's why.
That Scotch locks. No Scotch locks here.
Those are always good concerns. Customer states wired headlights do not work. You look and like the harness is all hacked to hell and they got wire nuts.
Oh,
well,
wire nuts.
We're
or
just
little splicers.
Yeah,
I
they
think
either got Scotch locks,
yeah,
wire nuts.
I think RVs,
T-taps.
I watched it.
I don't know if I've talked about this before. The way RVs are built and put together, holy shit.
Al, which is your favorite one, F53 or F59 chassis?
There's way better investments.
Don't lie to me. Which one's your favorite? Come on.
I'm gonna go with the F350 chassis.
Yeah, they all suck to work on though, just depending on the body. I guess the FedEx ones, I guess those could be worse, but
Have you looked at the 2020 straight frames?
the what?
Like the F59s?
Like the Amazon ones?
No. Like any, step van.
Yeah, what about
like the 2020s?
I don't think I've got one yet.
What's the word I'm looking for? They galvanized the frame on them now.
Nice.
Really?
Like it's everything silver under there.
That's cool.
That's smart.
What is? You look at them U-Haul trucks, they're all, or even the trailers, they're all galvanized. They're still running trailers from the 80s, not a speck of rust on them.
I've been getting a lot of the new Amazon delivery step side vans with the 7.3s in them.
I didn't know that Amazon was running those yet.
Lots of them. Well, just over here.
Do you have any radiator issues with those?
No. Oh, I seen one guy put one in.
That was probably me.
No, at my shop.
Oh, I was gonna say I put one in. What else did we have? Oh, those have pinion seal problems on them.
Haven't.
There was a batch of pinion seals that supposedly got out, and they didn't put the retaining spring on them, or the spring would fall out and go through the rear end.
Oh boy!
Because one of the guys I work with had it was for a bakery. They have a bunch of these things, and I think all three of their 2020s they had bought, we had to put pinion seals in. All three of them got called back, which obviously they'd know there's a problem then, but it's really a problem when they don't call a part back.
Huh.
Well, you wouldn't know that anyway.
Why?
Well, I mean, if you give it back to parts, like parts isn't going to tell you like, oh yeah, they didn't call this part back.
Well, no. See, we hold on to our parts in our own little area, and then our parts manager comes over. He's like, "Hey,
do you have this?
Where is this? Because they're calling it back."
Really? How long do you keep it and then get rid of it?
Month.
No shit.
From the date the repair is closed out.
Okay. I can feel you. Because, I mean, sometimes I'll hold on to stuff because either it's be leaking and it's nasty as you know what, or like, hey, I could take that bottom end off of it, and like if they don't call it back, I could use that on another part to make one or something, just to rob Peter to pay Paul. If I couldn't get half of this, I could make it one with another piece or something.
Engine cores, I'd be robbing fasteners.
Oh,
right.
I could feel you.
Just in case you like drop one, because like you really think I'm gonna have an upper oil pan bolt just sitting around in case one decides to, you know, down into a drain without me looking.
Like, let me get one of them long ones. Let me get one of those 2 long ones up front.
I always put those ones in first.
Oh yeah, those ones. I think having somebody. Well,
I hate to say it now, but I prefer doing them on the aluminum trucks.
Why?
Just because I'm more inclined to roll the engine over, and I can lean it on its side. I can get to everything so much easier.
Do you jack the engine up before you? Well, no. No, you
Before
can't.
I pull the pan off? No, I just leave it leaned over. Even after I pull the pan off, I still leave the socket under the engine mount, which sucks because any fluid that's in there is just going to continuously like want to drip. But
that's why you let the thing sit in there overnight.
No, I just pull out my fire hose of a Sure Shot and just go to town.
Oh, like you take the tip off of it and do it that?
No, I drilled my tip out.
For real? Like the small one, you just drilled out even more to just get a bigger, like.
Oh yeah.
All the brake clean.
I got it.
That's a good idea.
No, I can drain that can in like 3 seconds if I really want to.
That's awesome.
No, dude, it's seriously like a fire hose.
I kind of want to get one of those.
Oh, snap.
Someone in that TikTok was like, RIP bearings. And I'm like, dude, what? Why would it kill the bearings?
You ain't going to do nothing.
Yeah, it might get some oil out of the journals and everything, but guess what happens the second you start it?
Yeah, check that out. As soon as you crank that thing, it's not going to like make oil pressure in on like 5 seconds, 10 seconds. It's going to be making it now.
Once that old gerotor starts spinning, we're building base oil pressure, baby.
Hell yeah.
I got a question for you guys.
Rattle it off.
It seems like you guys have a lot of experience with deleted versus non-deleted 6.7s. So my experience with the non-deleted 6.7s, I see intake manifolds get plugged up with carbon all the time. Yet I had one tech tell me, I think when I was talking to him, he was out of Arizona. He told me that he had a truck that was highway driven and it was fully stock with emissions, EGR, DPF, SCR, the whole shebang. And he said there was not a lick of carbon in the intake manifolds. Have you guys ever heard of this? Because I was shocked when I heard that.
There'd be a couple trucks that are like that, yeah.
I mean, you're not really running EGR that much when you're on the highway, and you're running hot as hell all the time.
I feel the trucks that the dudes who, I'm gonna baby this is, I'm gonna keep this. Those are the dudes that the shit's just caked.
They idle that truck all day too.
Oh yeah, no, the utility companies we do work for, anytime one of their trucks come in, I'm just like, it's we already know what it's here for with a check engine light on. I literally won't even look at them. I'll just put up my parts rack, EGR
we should play
cooler.
A game. Name that code. Trucks coming in. We should take bets. We're placing the bet. Oh, I'm thinking it's, come on. We're going to give one truck. That's what we should do. Get a truck. It's got a problem. Play a clip. All right. Let's give us your best diagnosis over the airwaves. What do we got?
That would be a fun game.
That would be awesome.
I've had one customer with the tank heater concern that actually noticed it.
Really?
Said, yeah, check engine lights on, and it seems like it's slightly down on power.
Oh, yeah.
Most people won't realize that they're derated like 30%.
So you're talking about a D-rate without the light on, right?
Well, no, I mean, the light will be on, but like, a lot of concerns, it'll only D-rate at like, it won't D-rate at all, or it'll only D-rate at like, what, 10%?
See, I've had in my 11, I've had cut power when I ran out of def, but the dash didn't tell me I was out of def. I just knew it.
Oh.
Because I'd start pulling hills and there's just like, well, there's nobody home. And I went and filled up the def and, I got a mile down the road and all of a sudden the power came back. It's like, oh crap.
Oh, I need someone to go pull some strings about these drive cycles. Like, why can't you guys just make it so that we just like check a box on IDS or something?
Well, even like a scan tools, them Duramaxes, you hit a reset button. You have to meet the criteria. But I think it has to be 60 degrees ambient air temp, and the motor has to be cooled down. And you hit the reset button, and it resets it.
Yeah, like why can't we do that with the Powerstrokes? Why does Mercury have to be in retrograde? There has to be at least 3 shopping carts upside down in our parking lot facing the sun. Yeah, I have to scratch my left ear while picking my left nostril, have my foot all the way to the floor.
Hold on, where is it?
While
Wait
in
till
reverse.
You guys, I don't know.
The left wheels have to be spinning forward while the right ones spin backwards.
Well, that's like the P207F code.
So by the time
that's my favorite code. How many? Yes, that is the code. You probably got so many. I don't know how to fix this code. We've done everything with that one, didn't you?
Yes. Oh, yes.
I hate to say it. That code is not hard to diagnose.
Thank you.
What code? I missed it. What code?
I would shake your hand if I could.
Okay.
207.
Hold on.
Oh, okay.
The one I asked you about.
This is my signal for you need to bleep this out. Read the fucking pinpoint test.
It's your Bible.
It's not even that it's the Bible. Just read the fucking pinpoint test, and I guarantee you'll fix that code.
I can give you go ahead.
No, I'm just right on.
Yeah, I give you a tip with that P207F code. That Knox 12 PID, or in the case of the 11 and the 12s, it would be a Knox 11 because they only had one Knox sensor in 11 and 12s.
Yep.
That Knox 12 PID's your best friend because it'll tell you how many parts per million is coming out. So if you're to drive that truck at 55 miles an hour at a steady rate on a flat surface, and the reason why I specify a steady rate in a flat surface of 55 miles an hour, that's when the SCR system is going to be working at its peak efficiency, and you can really see what it's doing. A good healthy truck should be emitting 10 to 15 parts per million out of the Knox 12 or less.
Really?
Yeah.
Thank you.
It's good to know.
So assuming are you comparing, well, not comparing, I guess, but what would 1.1 be reading then if that's going to be
1.1's going to be telling you what comes in, which is going to vary depending on engine load.
Oh, yeah.
Typically I see it's about 135, 150, but I don't pay a whole lot of attention to 1.1.
So you're seeing what, a 80% reduction or so?
Yeah, something like that. It should be, because I just stick with Knox 12's PID. It should be, if you drive it at that rate, you should see 10 to 15 parts per million. Another kicker about 207F, it's basically the same code as P20EE, but they have 2 different monitors. And in Pinpoint Test RD, where it tells you to look at your NOx catalyst conversion efficiency, that's actually the monitor for P20EE. That's not the monitor for 207F. So RD is a little bit misleading there, because it's having you look at 20E's monitor in mode 6. If I'm not mistaken, its monitor is going to be looking at your, I think it was, I want to say your def quality, or it was I think it was concentration quality, somewhere in mode 6, something like that. But what you're looking for with that PID is whatever the minimum value is, because there's going to be the min, max, and actual. What you want is that your actual value is going to be greater than your min. And that's what you're looking for with 207F, because the NOx catalyst conversion efficiency, even though RD tells you that that's the monitor for it, it's not.
Now, see, my problem is, and I think in the 14s and the 15s, you have to update the PCM to do the drive cycle, or the idle only.
Yes, for forced idle you do.
See, that's my problem, is my truck was not updated, so I myself downloaded FJDS and bought the license, and updated all my modules, and it worked after that.
Oh, there you go. Yeah, I mean,
But I'm not a dealership.
Right. Oh, okay.
So I'm just an independent repair shop. So all this was really foreign to me.
Right.
Or I spent $300 to have somebody else come flash my truck, where I just did it for $50.
No kidding.
I just bought a 2-day license, and you can download the software for free, but you got to buy the license.
Right. Yeah, I mean, that's a lot better to go about that way. $50 versus $300. I would have done it the way you did it, for me personally.
And, it just sets up for now all my customers. I just have that. And that's why I'm happy it happened to my truck, because now I just learned on my own truck, not spending a bunch of money versus having a customer's truck in the shop for weeks on end trying to figure it out.
I actually have a video coming up for all of you. Well, this podcast is going to air after this video has aired. February 12th at 8:45. It's a Friday. Classic Friday night PTT. We're doing an EGT sensor on a 12 from Cali, and it is stuck in idle only. And this is an actual Easter egg, a bonus limp mode exit that you can only use on 2012s.
Really?
If the published procedure does not work. And I go over that in this video. And for those of you that have missed it by the time you are watching or listening to this podcast, I suggest you go back and reference this, because if you are stuck in idle only mode, this may be how you're going to get out. So it's definitely a tidbit. I'm going to try to premiere that one because a lot of people get into idle only mode, whether it's EGT stuck at 2,500 degrees, your reductant, something with the emissions, the after treatment, something the PCM doesn't like, something, boom, you just got speed limited to 50. It's going to go away. Boom. Now you're idle only. So that's going to be a goodie. We will talk about that with Mr. Al, because I don't know if you know about that one.
I do have quite experience with forced idle. We actually have a whole PowerPoint on that.
Dang.
Yeah, we have a whole PowerPoint with tricks and tricks I can walk you through.
Wow. Yeah,
one thing
amazing.
I can mention right off the bat. I believe it's the EGT steps where you're trying to get your EGT sensors up to temp. I can't remember. It was step 5 or 3. I think there's like 2 steps where you have to do that. I can't remember the top of my head. I gotta look that back in PTS. But in those steps, you don't actually have to keep the RPMs at the specified RPM to get your EGT temps up. You can.
Hell nah.
It doesn't care. You can
put my
womp
foot
out
to
it all you want.
I put my foot to the floor to get EGT temps up for a drive cycle.
Yeah, there you go. And it's fine. You can do that.
Like you
I
got
think
a day,
the biggest thing is waiting
like
for
today
that
where it's like 10 degrees out, right? You set that thing to 1500 RPM and command it to there and walk away. It's never gonna get hot enough.
10 degrees, yeah.
It's just too cold out, and I ain't got that kind of time. So I just literally put my foot to the floor, let it max out at $3,000, and let that thing sing.
Wait, you're doing the forced idle procedure when it's 10 degrees out? How do you? Because your ambient temp.
I'm just saying in general, right?
Oh, okay.
I'm just saying, like, in general, it takes way too long to command RPM to like 1500 degrees to get the EGTs high enough to go to the next step, or this, that, or the other. So, yeah, I just mat it in park and just run the truck up to like $3,000 and just let her sing.
You are a braver man than I.
That's how I get thermostats open. I put my foot to the floor.
You know what? Somebody asked me. Okay, that was a good question because I really don't know. Okay, 6.7 thermostat. We'll put a link in the description. I got it. Replacement video. Okay. Which way does the thermostat go? The gentleman said that the 2 thermostats, one's a blank temperature and one's a blank temperature. Does the blank temperature go towards the back, and the one goes towards the front, or does the other one? It does not matter.
It doesn't matter. I always do it where I believe, the little copper diddly that sticks up.
Yeah.
I always do that facing the
Front?
driver side.
So you're
Well,
talking
hold
about
on.
the bleed port?
I got to think, which way do those thermostats face? Do those face
Front to back. Because it's got the triangle bolt pattern, 2 on the
right?
inside and 1 on the outside.
I don't know.
Right,
I just
front to
pay
back.
attention to how it came out, but it shouldn't matter.
Yeah, I mean,
because it's just one giant. It's an oval port like this.
Yeah.
It's not like it feeds from separate points on the coolant crossover manifold. So really, it doesn't matter. Just don't put it in upside down.
Yeah, no. We don't want to do that. Don't want to do that.
But no, I've never seen anything in the workshop manual that says, the little bleed port has to face one way or the other.
Right. Now, if it was, up and down, I would say the bleed port has to face up towards the top. But,
right.
Since they're kind of flat, it really doesn't matter.
We need to get Ryan's uncle on here. He has just ordered, purchased, and took delivery of a brand new 21 F250
Nice.
7.3
6.7
Iconic Silver. Did he get Iconic Silver? Or Lithium Gray?
I think it's the Lithium Gray.
Lithium Gray. No, DS Trucks is Iconic Silver. Lithium Gray. Camper package, right? Did you get camper package?
Yep.
Wheel well liners, XL, or do you get STX? What's your model?
STX. Yeah.
STX.
Yep.
Really sharp looking truck. He came from a model year such as Al's. So old Betty red truck too, 7.3, but his was crew cab, right?
Yep, had a 4-inch lift and 35s, 320,000 miles when he sold it. I think.
Wow. Then went to an EcoBoost F-150, put 150,000 on that, and now has got a 6.7. So for those of you that are rolling in these new trucks and may be curious to ask or find out, do we go to the dealer? Do we do the maintenance myself, the owner? We need to get you on the show. We need to talk to you. We want to educate. We have some good information on the channel regarding maintenance for fuel filters, maintenance for trans, maintenance, what you're going to need to know that Matt, Dan, myself, Al, what we do to keep these trucks on the road. And it's just simple TLC, guys. And that is something that we cannot emphasize enough. It's just TLC. Take the time to
love and care.
We're busy. Life's busy. I get it.
Love your truck.
We're busy.
We
got
truck.
Kids. We're busy.
New bumper sticker for Aaron.
Love your truck.
PTT. Love your truck.
PTT. Love your truck. I like that. That
means a large investment.
Yeah, it is. And I mean, there should be no reason why we're not taking care of it. Educating and teaching people about their truck, all aspects of it.
Stop buying cheap oil filters.
Yeah.
Fuel filters.
I cringe, not cringe, but I just kind of shake my head.
Are you going to go out and buy the cheapest, water filter at home? No. You want to drink clean water. Do the same thing to your truck.
Yeah. Yeah. You could be in the Million Mile Club, for hell's sake. I mean, Al had 300. What'd you have on yours?
My truck's at 276K. It's a baby for 7.3.
I just changed oil on one today that had 270. His
I just
uncle
worked on a 350,000 mile 6-liter.
Come on. These people are doing something right.
No, dude, I'm telling you, the guy that did everything right was our customer with the Million Mile 7.3 that never changed his trans fluid.
Really?
Serious?
Wow.
And he had a stock 4R100 last that long?
Uh-huh. He never changed it.
That is crazy.
He didn't
must know how to
change
drive
it
it.
once.
Wow.
That's one I always talk about, that like the seat bolster was worn off, like the metal was literally worn down from him getting in and out of it.
Wow.
That's crazy.
Never changed it. And he asked our lead tech once, he's like, hey, should I change my trans fluid? And he was like, well, when was the last time you changed it? He goes, never.
Never?
Like, no, your truck's not going to move if you do that.
Yeah, for real.
All the friction material is going to go straight into our drain bucket.
Oh my gosh. That's incredible. Holy for
Good
holy.
for him.
I wonder what DS Truck's doing right now. He's probably sleeping.
He's probably wondering if I'm trying to convert everyone to not going to synthetic. He's like,
he didn't say one thing today.
Matt's probably trying to tell people not to use synthetic, and I really think they should.
He actually came to the shop today. I did the PTT version of the mirror spot mod. Did him a little did a little depinning action. Got him hooked up like mine. And he can turn those mirror spots on anytime he pleases.
Yes.
We'll make sure to link his info in the description. I know a lot of you guys have reached out to him talking about his 450 and all the stuff he's done with it, and about his snow plowing and whatnot. I just saw it today coming in the shop. That big old truck and the salter in the back and the plow. I mean, I'm telling you right now. I know I've been working at the dealer and it's been a Ford dealer. Them Ford trucks, man, damn, them things look good. I'll get caught rubbernecking going down the street. I'm like, oh, what's this guy got? What's this guy got? What's this guy got? Oh, shoot. Did you see that? Did you see that? Did you see that right there? Right there. I'm just obsessed with them, man. I don't know. They're just good looking trucks. And when people take care of them, by golly, man, it's even more to talk about. It gets me excited. It's something that I really like, and I never thought I was going to have a Super Duty, let alone work on everybody else's Super Duty. It was like, drive their trucks. Like, oh, you pretend it's yours, drive. Oh, yeah, I could drive one of these things. Well, you know what? Now I'm driving one of them. I'm part of the club. I get it. It's a Super Duty. I understand what it's all about now. Big boy truck, big boy price, big boy parts. I'm getting used to it. My daughter likes it, so that's definitely cool. But tell us what you guys think. We want to talk Powerstrokes with you guys, whether it be like Al 7.3, Matt 6.0. We got whatever else in between. The awful 6.4 for 2 years. We still got to work on them. We can't say no. I got to put a
delightful 4.5.
I got a studded boom truck I got to do. It's waiting for me. So, it's something we like to do.
We need to get some guy out here that's running a Transit. That's who we need.
Ooh, let us know. Anybody got a 3.2 out there? Anybody want to talk 3.2? You got your 3.2 and you want to talk about your experience with it?
Dude, engine wise, those things are reliable. Like, we have 2 customers that have well over 500,000 miles on theirs.
Really? That's cool.
They're all right.
You love those things, especially the blue ones.
You like doesn't like to work on them.
I don't like to work on them.
But dude, we got all these tips and tricks of how to work on them.
I know, but it hurts my hands and my arms and them zip ties, man.
Oh, dude, what? Come on. Oh. A little tight, little thicker skin for them EGR coolers there.
Man,
Sally.
well, I got to wear my long sleeves, but then I got to roll them up because when I'm going down below, I'm going to get all coolant saturated and just
I had someone making fun of me and taking the headlight out to get that power steering cooler off.
Oh yeah, most definitely.
And then they made fun of me of taking the headlight out so I could pull a hose out, like a heater hose off. Well, guess what? You can flip everything over and you don't have any harnesses or hoses in your way.
Mm-hmm.
Who's laughing now? Not the guy with arms that aren't all cut up.
Not the 6.4
Lights
guy.
a couple bolts.
I think the
6.4 was the final nail when Ford said no more. Just no more. We can't take it international. No more.
The 6.7.
Ford makes it international, shakes it.
When you think about design, so like, what are they working on? Stuff 5-6 years out. Okay, so they were tail end of 6-liter. Okay. Then they went into production, was way into 6-liter, developed, got with dinglings, got the 6.4. They've been working on this 6.7 this whole time. Look what they did. Thing's freaking awesome.
Didn't somebody say the only reason they had the 6.4 is because the 6.7 wasn't ready yet?
I believe that's what happened. I think that's why they went with the 6.4.
I'll take that, because you got to perfect what you want.
An 11.6.7 wasn't perfect. But...
Well, I got some 11.6.7 rolling around. I've replaced a fair share of 11.6.7s because of the glow plug whatnot. But I got a lot of 6.7 11s rolling around. Ain't got no problem. Got a lot of miles on them.
Yeah, I just sold one.
Yeah, you know what's up.
People complain about turbos on 11 to 14s for failing way too much versus the reality of it. Maybe that's just me. I feel like it's a 20-to-1 ratio for me of cabin chassis turbos to like pickup turbos.
See, to me, I had my 11, but I monitored the crap out of the back pressure to make sure the back pressure didn't exceed the boost like a bunch. So I had an alarm on my edge monitor. Anytime I'm pulling that big 44-foot gooseneck, if I got above a certain pressure, I'd back her down a bit. But it's got 193,000 miles and it's got the factory turbo yet.
Damn.
So I don't know. Is it because of that or what? Maybe it's just the Schaefer oil. Who knows?
Yeah. I passed my info along to them, so I'm waiting to hear back.
What's another code that people seem to not be able to figure out? 259.
P259F?
Yeah. I don't understand why people can't figure that one out either.
Well, as soon as you pull that code, that should be right off the rip. You know what the hell that is.
I know, but they still seem to not be able to get it.
You should just see dollar signs and know that you're going to be freaking waiting a grip.
You mean know that you're battling that driver's side up pipe clamp?
Jeez Louise.
I watched someone throw a hammer across the shop on Friday because of that clamp.
Oh. Sometimes having little BITCH hands works out. But
that's what I like about having these skinny, gangly ape arms.
Yeah, I mean
everything.
Yeah. All right, I think we're going to close it down for tonight. I want to thank everybody out there listening. Let us know. Definitely a good question for Matt. We want to get a transit dude out here. On here.
Yes.
Anybody
please.
got a transit? Let us know who's listening. If you guys are rolling a fleet of them, or if somebody's servicing a bunch of them, we'd like to talk to you. I
definitely know of a customer that's got quite a few.
No, we're not dealing with that dude right now. I'm gonna mute Matt
with Jeff.
But I want to know for you guys that are listening to the podcasts other than YouTube, rate the show on the app that they use, so we get a little feedback, see what platforms working better, and what's getting more traction, I guess. I want to.
Aaron wants to
go
know
where
which
you
one
guys
you
are.
like.
Go where you guys are going. So, big shout out and thanks to the guys who joined us today: Dan, Al, Matt, and Reelan. Make sure to check out my email listed below, somewhere here in the picture, and we can get you guys in the queue on the podcast on the best Powerstroke channel on the internet. Thanks so much, you guys. We'll talk to you later.
Peace.
Peace.
Bye.